guys, I dated this guy. He's very ugly. Don't judge me, okay? Proof. He looks like Mike Wazowski. It's a little scary. I need you guys to forgive me for this one.
She needs forgiveness from her friends for dating an ugly man. Has this harmed her friends in some way? She needs forgiveness. What is she talking about? I have a new rule. No woman who is wearing makeup is allowed to comment on the attractiveness of men. If you are covering your face with paint to hide your own imperfections, when it comes to the appearance of others, keep your mouth shut. This is doubly true for any woman who uses filters or has plastic surgery. But beyond that, these women have zero credibility to judge a man's attractiveness, because if you ask them, they'll say that every guy is ugly.
My question to society is, why is it that I see a beautiful woman every day, multiple times a day, but a beautiful man I see maybe once every fiscal year? What?
She is literally caking herself in makeup while saying that there are no beautiful men. You cannot make this up. These women have no self-awareness. Look at this graph from OkCupid. It shows that men place women's attractiveness as an equal distribution. But you see here, according to women, most men are ugly. That makes zero sense. Men are just as attractive as they've always been. That hasn't changed. What has changed is that women have become more masculine, more aggressive, and more rude. And as women have become more masculine, their attraction to men has gone down because attraction in humans is based on sexual polarity. What makes an intimate connection just crackle with excitement and electricity is the coming together of opposite poles that usually contrast each other. A feminine woman and a masculine man. Human beings are driven by an insatiable lust for how different their partner is, and they want to resolve that polarity through sexual intimacy. But women have gotten so masculine these days that they're suddenly feeling like they're not attracted to men, and they think that men have gotten uglier. That's their explanation.
I was just scrolling on TikTok, and it amazes me that there's so many gorgeous women on this app, and almost every man in the world is ugly. There's a select few that are hot, and I'm like, okay, you're really hot. And then every other man is ugly.
No, they're not. That's not it. You're just too mannish to feel any attraction to men. But guess what? That's your own fault. You want to feel sexual excitement in the presence of men again? Start being a woman. Start being feminine. This is not even about looks. Understand, historically, female attraction has been to the quality of masculinity. It's not based on beauty standards, on men being like these perfectly manicured male models. What made a man attractive is strength, competence, his ability to provide. In the presence of that kind of masculinity, a woman's desire for a man was stimulated. But in this modern generation of boss babe women, they're not looking for masculinity inside of men anymore. They're too busy creating it inside themselves. And the results have been disastrous. This grand experiment to turn women into men has made them less happy, less satisfied, and more confused than ever. In this research, they found that while 95% of straight men climax, only 65% of women do. That doesn't surprise me that modern women are devoid of pleasure, because it is a woman's femininity that is the gateway to her unlocking her sexuality. If she shuts that off and is just masculine all of the time, of course there's going to be consequences. The younger generation of women have been heavily indoctrinated into this. Be a feminist, be masculine, all that propaganda. The consequence is that they're losing their capacity to even feel attracted to men anymore. That's how masculine they have become. They are quite literally so lacking in feminine energy that their heterosexuality is vanishing. When you look at these statistics, you see that young women identify as gay or lesbian at twice the rate that men do, and they are 3 times more likely to identify as bisexual. That means that almost 30% of women are not straight. 30%. I am not denying that there's a biological component to homosexuality, but if this is not socially informed, having to do with the increasing masculinity of women in our culture, then why hasn't this increase from women been mirrored by men at the same rates? We should not be surprised by any of this. We keep pushing young women to be more and more masculine. You don't think that's going to have consequences? I think that modern women are largely looking at men with genuine confusion. Like, why do I need you? What role are you meant to play? The previous generations knew the value of men, being a strong leader, a protector, a provider. He was there to satisfy you in the bedroom. But this generation of masculine women does not think like that. They've lost touch with their own womanhood, their femininity. They look at men and they think, they're all so ugly. Why are you here? Why aren't you giving me money? What's the point of men?
I'm so sorry, but no amount of money could make me hang out with an ugly dude. Like, I'm walking down the street in Miami. This is like the street in Brickell. where you always see an ugly, ugly ass dude with the hottest girl on his arm. And I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, money's not that hard to make. It's not. You don't have to hang around ugly men if you want money.
This is the mantra of young women. Make your own money. You don't need men. Do it all yourself. With that kind of messaging, is it any wonder that women no longer feel attracted to men? But it turns out that biology is not so easily vanquished. And no amount of feminist propaganda and social engineering can actually stamp out the deeply held instincts inside human beings. At a deep biological level, women desire to submit to a man. That's what gives them the tingles. As the guys in the comment section will tell you, it's often the women who have the most progressive values who are the most crazy submissive in the bedroom. They've actually done research into the female psyche to see how women cope with this apparent contradiction. They can't escape it. They don't want to. They want to rail against the patriarchy and tradition in their waking lives, knowing that they can retreat to the privacy of their own bedrooms at nighttime and reenact the very gender roles that they claim to despise. Why do they do that? Because it's pleasurable. Because when you're in the bedroom, being a woman and letting him be a man is what turns her on. But women aren't concerned by it. Look at this YouGov poll. Only 11% of women thought that this was an issue. You cannot stamp out the female desire to be ravished by a masculine man, to just take over and bring her pleasure. That instinct, that desire, it's too deeply ingrained. And what happens if we push in society for women to abandon that feminine submission? If we encourage them to become men, then all of those female desires, they just get pushed underground and they find darker and darker expression. Look at this. Romance novels that frequently have dark themes and a lot of masculine dominance are hitting record sales. During the day, women might say all the right things and repeat all the feminist talking points. But at nighttime, the truth is revealed by their behavior. They don't find pleasure in being masculine. They want to be feminine. Submissive. They want to be claimed by a masculine man. Did you know that 62% of women have fantasies of being forced by men into intimate encounters? Personally, I think that's crazy. Call me a kink shamer. I don't give a shit. That's not normal. This is what happens when you force a woman to become so masculine that the only way that she can experience the thrill of being a feminine woman and all of that sexual polarity again is a scenario where she is taken against her will by some rampaging beast of a man. The characters of romance novels who's really rough and just takes what he wants. She's so masculine that it has to be at that extreme for her to actually feel feminine. Fuck me. I mean, isn't that proof that this has gone too far? So how about we drop this myth that men have just suddenly become ugly, and instead, women, how about you embrace your femininity again? Stop being men. You're not good at it. Just be women. Be nice. Be soft. Be comforting and supportive. I promise you, once you are in your feminine, you will appreciate masculinity in men again. You will be attracted to it. It will bring you happiness and pleasure. Normal, healthy, respectful pleasure. Suddenly, like magic, men won't seem so ugly anymore. Men will be attractive and you will be happy. You'll find pleasure again. We need masculine and feminine polarity to create attraction. It takes both genders. Men, I hope you're doing your part. Make sure you are masculine. But women, you've got to do your part too. Be feminine. Now, you probably noticed I had to keep my language clean, to try and avoid the YouTube censors. I'm going to be displaying no such caution for the rest of this video. I'm going to explain how to create a satisfying sexual polarity in the bedroom. It's the kind of topic I could never cover on YouTube, but if you want to know how to satisfy a woman, it's important to know. So if you like the theory from this video, you want to know how to put it into practice, keep watching. The rest of this video is available on Patreon. What I post here on YouTube, these are just the shortened, abridged versions of my videos for that element of my audience who wants to take their understanding to the next level, wants more depth, a bit more nuance, come on over to Patreon.